Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Walk with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next. Whip this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Yeah, oh shoot. They don't let me shoot a whole clip. Firepower in this coalition. We just turned the field into a demolition. It was desolate, but I had premonition. I was training for war, every exhibition, every extra mission, every enemy listening. Get off my...
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode, live stream to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. And of course, I'm joined by my good buddy here, Mythic. What's up, brother, man? How are you been?
Man, I have been dying for 2 months. So if you guys, fans of the channel, I have been MIA, haven't been able to breathe. This has been like the first week I've been literally able to speak. So it feels nice. Let's go ahead and knock off the rust. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I don't envy what you went through. That sucks. It really does suck. I can't imagine being as sick as you were. So thanks for being back, and I appreciate you for taking time to join on the chat. I mean, we got training camp around the corner. We got football season around the corner. So I wanted to kind of make a live stream and just kind of talk about it overall. So yeah, super excited. I want to take a real quick time here. What are your plans for the 2024 season for your channel specifically? If you guys do not know, we got Mythic AZ here on the channel, and we're hopefully going to be having him a lot more on this channel moving forward. But he's almost at 6K on YouTube, so definitely sub to him if you haven't done so already. But what are your plans for 2024?
Pound out videos, pound out. This is the first time I've been super optimistic. Like, it's just blind optimism is what I've been having for the past couple of years. It's just like, I'm a fan of this team. I don't want to go into here even knowing they're probably going to be really bad. I'm going to come in here with a positive mentality. Now it's like the first time I kind of like knock that off, and it's like, who knows? I really don't know. I feel like the team is going to be a lot better. So it's going to be a lot of videos. I'm going to be trying to go live at least once a week, pounding out a lot of content. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot for you too. I feel like the hype is on another level.
We're going to dive into that as well. I don't think I've seen as many videos from random NFL content creators and not Cardinal content creators, NFL content creators that are saying things like, this is scary, right? Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray, this is what the NFL didn't want. It's trippy on a whole nother level because we've been in this ride for years. It almost feels like, and this does feel like a different year heading into the 2024 season for the Arizona Cardinals. And obviously we're going to be diving into that, and breaking that down. So yeah, this channel is definitely going to be popping shorts, more live streams, videos galore. You're probably going to be very, very tired and nauseated with me, but yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm here for the ride. But let's dive into it. Let's first talk about our first topic here. We're going to be talking about the most recent comments of Trey McBride. It just kind of was released on a podcast from Adam Schefter. We're going to be diving into that. We're going to be diving into who are you excited about in the 2024 season, offense, defense, training camp around the corner, as well as who you think is going to break out and then playoffs or bust. So that's what we're going to be diving into today. So let's first talk about Trey McBride and his comments about Marvin Harrison Jr. And this is exactly a quote from him when Adam Schefter asked him what he likes or what he's seen from Marvin. He said, elite, freak of nature, guy of his stature, should not be able to move the way that he does. The hype that he had in college, he definitely lives up to the hype. He's a great person, a good player. He's excited to see what him and Kyler's connection is going to be in 2024. What are your thoughts about Trey McBride's comments?
I saw those comments this morning. It's great to hear because he was talking about jump balls with Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a 70-30 guy. I don't think we've had a 70-30 guy since DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald. I think those are the only two that have come close to a 70-30 ball. So if we legitimately have a jump ball 70-30 chance, that's fantastic. Crisp route runner at 6'4". How many 6'4" guys are crisp route runners? Like, no flaws. He just talks about how he's so fluid. if all this translate on the field, I think Marvin Harrison's going to explode and have a dominant rookie season. I think we're going to see man. I'm going to say it. This might be the best receiving rookie season we've ever seen and in Cardinals history. So
Even
Larry Fitzgerald. That's why I was a little hesitant.
Really?
Because, I love Larry. Larry's literally the GOAT, the Arizona GOAT. When it comes to Arizona sports, the first name that comes to my head is Larry Fitzgerald, Steve Nash. 1 and 2. Larry Fitzgerald is the number one guy. He literally embodies Arizona. He's here for like almost 20 seasons. Like, super loyal to Arizona. Like, why? Like, I'm an Arizona fan, but why? Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
But Larry Fitzgerald, his rookie season, 780. I think it was 780.
He's 780. Yep.
Was it 788? Is that what it was?
I'm seeing here
788 touchdowns.
Yeah, 59 receptions, 780 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Okay, damn. Yeah, I think Marvin Harrison's got that. I think he's got 850 plus with 8+ touchdowns. I think that's very realistic, and I think Marvin Harrison in this system is going to flourish.
Who was the Arizona Cardinals quarterback?
Oh my gosh.
That's what we should be looking into, because I think that, obviously, I think we both can agree that quarterback that the Arizona Cardinals has had is obviously.
Was it Plummer?
Was it Plummer?
Or was it McCown?
It might be McCown. Look it up. But
okay, so it was Josh McCown, Sean King, John Navarre. So I'm assuming it was McCown.
So Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a lot better.
100%. 100%. What quarterbacks did Fitz really have, though? Like, his whole career.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner. Those are like the two guys that were legitimate quarterbacks. Outside of that, it was kind of nothing.
And the crazy thing is that the Kyler Murray is literally, if he can stay healthy, right? I think we both all can agree that the contingency and the big knock on Kyler Murray is that his health, right? Can he stay healthy in a 17-game season? That's the biggest knock. But if he can, we're seeing a potential quarterback and a wide receiver for the long haul, right? We're seeing a quarterback grow with a wide receiver like we haven't seen. Like, when we got Larry Fitzgerald was the face of the organization, right? That's who he was. And now we're starting to see 2 potential superstars, right? As long as Kyler Murray can stay healthy and he can bring back that, revive his career. Because there's a lot of people that have him outside the top 10, even, and I'm talking about just in the NFC. I'm not talking about in the NFL. I'm talking about in the NFC. People have him out of the top 10, which is absolutely wild to me. But, it kind of comes with the territory, because the Arizona Cardinals have been back-to-back 4-win teams. And not all his fault, but quarterbacks usually do get a brunt of the blame for that situation. So let me ask you again. So you think he's going to surpass Larry Fitzgerald's numbers?
In his rookie year, for sure. I think so. Because Larry Fitzgerald's second season was ridiculous. Like, every season after that was just 1,000, 14, 1,300. So I don't know, but I think he's clapping this for sure. I think 850 is like the minimum. I don't know what they have him projected at, but I think 850 is like the absolute minimum.
Yeah, I could definitely see that as well. I think we're going to see a rookie career like we haven't seen, or a rookie season like we haven't seen in a very, very long time. Like Trey McBride said, right? Freak of nature, elite, guy of his stature should not be moving the way that he does. It's one of those things where I'm still scratching my head to the fact that there were some people out there that wanted these 3 first-round picks that so badly wanted to, not so badly, but like they were okay with it. Now, I talked about it because it was a storyline to talk about, but there's nobody in their great mind to think that, like, or at least I hope not, if he was there at 4, that we were still going to take those 3 first-round picks. I'm so glad Monty's our GM. He's already passed the first test. I think his rookie season in terms of being a GM was a very, very good season, but it's really hard to judge on what he's done because of that being a wash here. I think we can all kind of agree that, like, I don't know, we were there, but like we're playing hard, but like we weren't great.
Yeah, there was a lot of talent cut from this team, and it took a lot of construction. And he was also hired on short term too, so it was like quick bounce back. So
he had like a month.
He had like a month and a half to prepare.
Yeah, so didn't really have very much. So this is really the big season you can start kind of not judging, but really kind of take a look and start taking notes on what Monty's done. And I'm so happy that he went for Marvin, because there was a tweet out there probably about a month ago that they already sold out of that bottom row of season tickets, like that first spot. And it's obvious as to why people were excited about Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray coming back. It's an exciting time to be a Cardinal fan. So I'm super, super excited about it. Trey McBride has had some glowing remarks about him. And man, I'm ready, dude. I'm ready for this 2024 season.
Like, how can that not pump you up? If you guys haven't listened to it, go look it up. It's a podcast with Adam Schefter. Great things to hear. So if you're a Marvin Harrison fan, Cardinals fan, or just want to see what we're talking about, go ahead and check that out.
Absolutely. I will be dropping a video a little later on as well. If you do not jump on our social media, some people don't follow us on socials, but no worries. I will be dropping it a little later on. But yeah, super excited about it. Let's move on over to what are you? And I'm talking about you, but what are you excited about in 2024? Is it the offense, the defense, a specific player, or both?
Oh, man. I have two things. So the first thing I'm really excited about is this is Kyler Murray's first healthy season going back to training camp that we have seen for the past 2 years. Trey McBride even said it in that clip, I believe, too, like later on or at some point. He was talking about this is like the first time Kyler Murray's been healthy in his whole career. His whole career. So get a training camp with that rookie wide receiver, build connections with Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison, Greg Dortch. I feel like the connection's already there. Like, I feel like Greg Dortch is that sleeper guy for us. Put him in the slot, get him the more reps. Rondale Moore is gone in Atlanta now. Like, there's no excuse for Greg Dortch to not have opportunities. So I feel like he's going to thrive with this. I think he's going to be a huge breakout player for us. And then Trey McBride, man, like I can't speak highly enough about Trey McBride. Just freak on the field. Like a young George Kittle. Like, it's just what it seems like. He's just a freaking spaz who loves the game of football. He'll laugh at you on the field. He just looks like he's just having fun. He's like a little kid, a little big kid. That's what it is. He's like a little big kid on the field. And he's a beast. So I'm excited to see Kyler build connections with these guys through training camp, and I'm hoping he stays healthy for the whole season. Because if he does, I don't think we're sniffing anything under 7-8 wins. I think that is like the bare minimum, and I think anyone would take 7 to 8 as year 2. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that. And then the second thing I'm looking forward to is now that we have talent on defense, I want to see what Budda Baker's able to do. I think now that we have talent, we might be able to actually stop the run as well. That's something I'm like praying we're able to do. And Darius Robinson is the guy I think is going to come into his own later in the season. And then BJ Ojolari, I'm praying too that he's able to actually establish himself as an edge in year 2. If he is, like I think he's going to be able to, I think this defense can actually shock a lot of people because talent-wise, people are probably like, okay, they like raised the floor very minimally, but didn't see how hard we competed week in and week out. So I think we're going to actually shock a lot of people.
I agree, dude. I agree. And it's crazy to me right now that there's just like, I don't know, there's still a level, especially in the NFC West, like the people that are in NFC West, like it's wild to me that people have the Seahawks over us. I get why they have the Rams. I get why the 49ers, but the Seahawks, like it's wild to me. Like, let me explain. There was some breaking news that we're actually going to be covering here in a little bit. Yep. I'm not sure if you saw that. We're going to be covering that a little bit. But I want to dive into kind of what I'm excited about. The defense. I think the defense is going to be better than last year. Obviously, right? We got the talent. We got more talent. Now, one of the biggest knocks that I've seen that are not Cardinal fans, but I've been kind of chiming into some deep dives from some people that are like, you know, that love to talk about NFL content. And like a lot of people saying that like we didn't do a good job in free agency, which is kind of, you know, I could see where people are coming from. You know, they're not these big names. And some people are like, we overspend on some players. But like at the end of the day, this Cardinal organization or this defense played tough. They played their hearts out, but they just did not have the talent to succeed in the NFL or keep up in a 60-game period, right? It seemed like we had the heart. We even heard George Kittle come out and said, whoa, you know, they were playing a lot harder than we thought they were going to play. But now that we actually have NFL talent, right, especially on that defensive line, yes, they're not big names, right? Yes, they're not your Wilkinson, which, you know, a lot of Cardinal fans wanted. But I think at the end of the day, we now see the vision. Now we see we got players that can play. We got players that can actually, or at least back then, could stay healthy, right, in the 17-game stretch, hopefully, fingers crossed, with Nichols, Justin Jones, and then we added D-Rob. So we got some talent. Mac Wilson Sr. I'm excited to see what they can do on this defense because we got talent. One of the biggest, I guess, mysteries is our cornerbacks to me. Because yes, we got Sean Murphy Bunting, but like there's a lot of Tennessee Titans fans coming out and be like, oh, you guys overpaid him, or, oh, he's not as good as you guys think. Honestly, I'm just excited to see what he's going to do. Honestly, I'm not going to judge the guy until I see him. He's the veteran. He's probably CB1 for the Arizona Cardinals, but that's one of the biggest mysteries right now. We got Garrett Williams, which I'm really excited about. I liked him coming out of Syracuse. We got a lot of cornerbacks in this draft. We got a lot of young, potential, mysterious talent. We don't really know exactly what it's going to translate to, but I'm excited about Mad Max. I'm excited about Max Melton, right? I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do. So I'm excited about this defense. I think the offense, most people can say the offense, and yes, I'm excited about the offense too, but this defense is really what's getting me pumped up, because I know with the talent that we brought in, we're going to start opening up a lot more eyes. And I'm excited to see what Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rallis is going to be able to do.
And if you can't stop anybody, I mean, there's no point to even play football. At the end of the day, if you can't stop anyone and you're getting 28 plus dropped in your head every game, it's going to be very hard to win football games. And I think people, going back to what you said too, real quick, before we jump into the breaking news, I feel like people fail to realize like the floor was raised on every position on this roster from last year. And we were playing teams tough. We couldn't stop the run. We got people who not only are durable and can stay healthy, which is a big thing. I thought, 3 of our defensive tackles last year went down the first 6 weeks.
It was wild.
3 of our starting nose tackles. And we're like, oh, then we have the third string. Oh, the third string actually looks decent. Okay, well, he's gone. All right, let's go pick this guy up from the practice squad or the waivers. And then we're rocking with that for the whole season. And it's like, eesh, that's a little rough. But, I mean, we raised the floor and everything. And Sean Murphy-Bunting, people can hate on him all he wants, but he was on a Super Bowl winning team, putting him in the right positions. He can make plays.
Yeah.
That's the thing people fail to realize. He's in Tennessee. I think Snead is going to struggle a little bit in Tennessee. I just feel like they don't really have much on that defense. I really don't. I think they have 2 or 3 players that are solid. They have Jeffrey Simmons, who I think is fantastic. I think he's elite. But then outside of that, they don't really have much. I think they overpaid for L'Jarius Sneed, who I think was good with Kansas City. And that's why I'm not going to fall into the trap of Kansas City or New England corners, because they make everybody look good. The 2 people I was high on was Stephon Gilmore and J.C. Jackson. I wanted us to pay J.C. Jackson, and look at what happened to him. His Hall of Fame crash out wasn't even good in, what is it, L.A. now? Not San Diego. I want to call him San Diego.
I know, me too.
But it's he didn't look good. So people coming for the Cardinals for not spending in free agency. Christian Wilkins was another guy, but then you see the price tag and it was $27 million. I'm good. Yeah. I'm 100% okay not touching that. I probably wouldn't have offered that either. If it was 23, then we can talk. But 27, go get your bag. I'm not even going to sit here and offer you anything. Just go get your bag.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And just a correction of what we talked about a little earlier. I think we mentioned Larry Fitzgerald's rookie year, but yes, Anquan Boldin's rookie year was actually a lot more outstanding than Larry Fitzgerald. The year prior, he had 101 catches, over 1,300 yards, and 8 touchdowns for Anquan Boldin.
I forgot about Boldin, man.
Boldin's one of the great wide receivers, and unfortunately, he got a ring. Fortunate for him, he got a ring, but just unfortunately wasn't with the Cardinals.
Here, I'm pretty sure he played his final year in Arizona on that Super Bowl team, if I'm not mistaken, which hurts because we saw him win in Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. Yep. He got a ring with Baltimore. Yep.
That hurt so bad. I remember watching that at my cousin's house, and I was sick to my stomach. I was like, well, only if we could have brought him back and paired him with Fitz for the remainder. We had him 03 to 09. We made the Super Bowl in 2009, right?
No. Well, it was the 2008 season technically.
2008, 2009.
Yeah, it was in 2009 was the Super Bowl, but it was the 2008 season. Yep.
So we had Bolden for a while, and he looked fantastic with Fitz. And then I don't know. I feel like we just failed to replicate a lot of things, and we failed as an organization past that. But I think Marvin Harrison can have a very similar, maybe 1,150 yards, because the 850 is only 50 yards a game. With 17. So I could easily see 1,100, 1,150, 8, 10 touchdowns. I could see it. I'm just giving baseline numbers.
No, I could see it too. Honestly, I'm very, very excited to see what Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to do. It's going to be a season to definitely keep our eyes on, because a lot of excitement amongst the Bird Gang. But there is some breaking news here, ladies and gentlemen, in the world of the NFC West. Let's go ahead and dive into it here. We've been hearing about this all dang off season. Is Brandon Aiyuk going to stay as a 49er? I have a lot of content creator buddies that cover the 49ers, and they're like, no, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. But no, here we go. We got some breaking news coming up from Mike Garafolo, and it says this: 49ers All-Pro wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk has officially requested a trade after an offseason of unsuccessful attempts to reach an extension. Despite a recent meeting, the 49ers haven't been willing to engage in negotiations since May. So Aiyuk has respectively asked for an out. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know why 49ers fans are so optimistic about him getting the deal done. I don't really understand, because dating back to last year in like May, they tried to get something done and it just wasn't close in numbers. Like he wanted like $4 million more, and he's just like, hey, this is the number. And they're like, we'll give you this. It never happened. And then the entire offseason, nothing got done. As soon as the Super Bowl ended, what was it, his girlfriend, his sister? Somebody was in the car talking about how Brandon Aiyuk's not going to be there next year. And it's just like, there's the red flags already. And then Brandon Aiyuk goes on live with Jaden Daniels. And then as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, there's no chance at all. Like I already had no faith in Brandon Aiyuk coming back. And if he does, he's going to sit there and just like coast through the season, I guess. And then at the deadline get moved. But I don't know. I just couldn't ever see him coming to a resolution unless they were willing to fork up probably top receiver money. I don't know if anyone's willing to do that. I think Brandon Aiyuk is a very good wide receiver too. Like, I think he is like one of those people, like a Tyler Lockett, if that makes sense. Like, he's not someone I want to rock wide receiver 1, but like if he has to, I'm very confident that he's going to be able to make plays. I think Brandon Aiyuk is a great route runner. I don't believe in it. Like, you put him in like Washington, I think he'd thrive with Terry McLaurin, but like you let him be a wide receiver 1 and get paid $30 million a year, whatever the top receiver money is now. I'm not confident. I would not want to pay that. I don't believe in him that much.
But that's a crazy thing too, because I've been hearing a lot of 49ers content creators, and a lot of them believe that this was going to happen in terms of he was going to stay in the 49ers. And they've heard a lot of them come out and say that he's a true wide receiver compared to Debo. Now, obviously, Debo is the playmaker, right? He's used as a running back, wide receiver. He's used as anything that they can use him as. But I think that's maybe why Brandon Aiyuk wanted. But like, I think he's a good wide receiver. I've seen him in ASU when he was playing alongside N'Keal Harry, which was a wide receiver that I really liked. And I was bummed out that the Patriots got him literally the pick before the second round started. But I'm glad that happened, because obviously his career didn't turn out the way that it did. But like Brandon Aiyuk, I don't know if it's one of those situations that is he just benefiting from the system, right? Like the Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers system, right? In terms of like making Brock Purdy from Mr. Irrelevant to relevant. And now he's going to be collecting a bag probably sooner than later. So is he one of those guys? I don't know, right? I don't know. I don't really have a lot of, like, I guess much to say other than if this does happen, I mean, obviously it's breaking news. He wants out. It's a big blow for the 49ers, because yes, they got Ricky Parcells in the draft, but I don't think he's as polished as people thought.
Not right now. He's going to take 2 years to probably come into his own.
Yeah.
And the thing that's tough with like evaluating players is like, obviously you got to cater in how much people play into the system. Like, not everyone is a system player. Like, not all 11 are benefiting from the system. Like, people are elite, but sometimes it's hard to tell. You know what I mean? Like, okay, the pass rush looks good here. So the corners, they had 3 seconds to get the ball out, 2.8 seconds to get the ball out. Like, the corners are benefiting a lot because they're able to make a play. But it's like how it's so hard to evaluate, because like Debo Samuel, I agree, I don't think is a true receiver. So I think if they're just stuck with him, they're kind of screwed in an aspect, because not fantastic route runner. He's a very good kind of like gadgety guy, but at the same time, not like gadgety guy. Like, give him the ball in space and he's a freak, but like he'll have one good game out of like 5. Right. You know what I mean? Then he'll have like okay games. He'll kind of like disappear. And then he'll have a game that he's like, okay, here's 200 total yards. And then his stats like come slightly up. But Brandon Aiyuk is like a true receiver. I agree. He's way better. So if they lose him, yikes. That offensive line is no bueno right now for them. They got Trent Williams and a bunch of other guys who don't really come close. So you take away a big pass catcher. I think San Francisco's looking at it. They're honestly looking at hell, because their cap space situation is not looking good either. Like, they probably have like 1 or 2 years before their whole team just
blows up,
collapses. They got to pay Purdy. Whenever that happens, whether they choose to do that or not, it's over. Like, they're not going to be able to maintain anybody. Like, every weapon you see, pooh.
I mean, they got a Super Bowl window they're trying to accomplish too, and they've been trying to get there. They try to get there, and they just can't
got
get
there
over
twice in the last like 3 years, and they just can't get the win. So looking at this, it's like, we went all in. It's not coming together though. Like, Kyle Shanahan just can't get it done. I don't know what it is, but Kyle Shanahan has been on some ugly losses.
Yeah, a lot of receipts being collected with the whole Kyle Shanahan situation. I do think he's a really good coach. He just can't get over the hump and win. I mean, obviously that's a good thing for the NFC West. It's insane. Where do you think Brandon Aiyuk goes? Do you think we both agree it's the Commanders?
Washington. Oh yeah. If any team's gonna pay for him, I think it's gonna be Washington because Jaden Daniels is gonna chirp. He's gonna, hey, this guy's really good at football. I mean, we got a good connection. Blah blah blah. I don't know if they want to pay him. I really don't. Like they apparently were in talks. They just don't want to pay him. I wouldn't want to pay him that. Like, it's tough. Like, there's not many receivers I'm looking at right now, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to pay this guy $30 million. Right. I think there's like 3 people I would like confidently give out that contract to. One is Justin Jefferson. Minnesota nailed that. They had to get that done. So shout out to them. CeeDee Lamb is probably another one. I probably wouldn't even do it to Jamar Chase, if I'm being honest.
Don't bring
Jamar. Like, I don't know if the Bengals have another choice.
Yeah.
With T. Higgins, so they're probably gonna have to pay him, but he's probably not a guy that I'm gonna just like willingly throw that at.
Right.
Sheesh, it might be it. Like that, I'm willing to throw 30 M's at. Tyreek Hill, maybe.
Tyreek, yeah, I would say Tyreek. The drama
deserves it.
Is a little much, but his play is
crazy. It's every offseason, but I mean, it seems to simmer down. I don't know how much of it's legitimate. Like, I don't keep in tabs of Tyreek Hill. I just know what happens off the field. I hear it, and I'm just like, I don't know, because everything gets settled. So it's like, who knows? At the end of the day, man, the NFL is very weird with that kind of stuff. But Tyreek Hill's on the field play, I would pay him $30 million for sure. Off the field, tricky.
Yeah, no, I agree. Wow. Crazy breaking news here. It seems like Brandon Aiyuk has now officially requested a trade to be out of the NFC West, which helps us out. And most likely he's probably going to go to the Commanders with all the kind of flirting around that we've been seeing on TikTok. This is kind of one of those things that's been boiling over. And now, since they haven't obviously been able to get an agreement with each other, he's going to probably find his way out of the NFC West, which helps out the Cardinals. Interesting, very, very interesting situation that we're finding ourselves in right now. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on and continue to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. We got a lot to dive into. Let's talk about training camp. It's around the corner. I know you said you're going to be chiming in and going to training camp here as well. I'm not asking you what days you're going to. That's your business, but you are going to be going to training camp, right?
100%. If I knew, I would drop it. I don't really care. If you guys want to come bombard, go for it. I really don't know. It just depends. I got to see when it comes closer to the date. So probably in like 5 days, I'll probably have official dates that I'm going to be going.
That's fair.
I want to at least pop out to 2 of them. At least 2 of them.
I think I'm going to be going to a little more. I mean, I'm very close to the stadium in terms of like where I live. So I'm very fortunate with that. I do want to go to a lot of them. We do got the official dates for the training camp. If you guys do not know, we'll be flashing them up here on the screen here once this thing bad boy uploads. But they're going to be having a lot of open practices for just fans to kind of go.
This is more than normal, right?
This is more than normal.
It's like they have like 2 weeks worth. Yeah, they have like 2 weeks worth. It's crazy. And then they have the red and white practice. Like I was looking at this. Like they used to have like 4 days, right? It used to be like a Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it would kind of die out or something like that. I don't remember how it was, but it was like a 4-day thing, like kind of insane. Like they're opening it to a lot of people. I definitely want to pop out to the red and white practice. I think I'm going to try to do that regardless. I think I'm going to pop out to that for sure. I definitely want to go to the first one,
the 25th.
The 25th for sure. So the dates I'm probably going for sure are 25th and 3rd for now. And I might try to pop out to more because, I knew it was around 2 weeks, but that's like a legit 2 week. That's 10 days of practice right there. And then one's exclusive, obviously, the season ticket members.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to pop out to a lot. And I don't live close to the stadium. Like I'll make that drive.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude. It really is. It's amazing to see this Cardinals organization doing something like this. I don't know if it's because the Marvin Harrison Jr. effect or, it might be. I mean, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of buzz amongst the Valley about the Cardinals starting up the season. And yeah, this is amazing. I love the fact that they're opening it up for fans to come in here. There's a total of 9 days that are open. Obviously not including the 28th. That one's specifically for season ticket holders. But yeah, I'm going to be chiming into there as well and trying to see what our Cardinals team can do in 2024. I'm so excited, man. Football season's in the air. I'm excited.
I can't wait. Finally getting to showcase the rookies too that I'm like actually excited for. like very excited. The talent's coming together.
It is.
I got to see it in person. When I get it like a little evaluated in person, obviously they're not going to go 100%, but that red and white practice is going to be kind of indicative. And I'm kind of excited to see live reps of how players are looking.
Me too. I want to see. I'm tired. There's so many videos about the Cardinals like right now, the hype, right? The dark horse, all these things that we're seeing out there, which is cool. I love the hype. It's just I want to see it now. The time for talk is done. I want to see it. I want to start seeing it. And we're getting there, man. It's the 25th. It starts up. We're right now on the 16th of July. It's gonna get here. It's gonna go here.
The football offseason's hell, man. Like it really is. You get the draft, and it's like, all right, now you got to wait 3 more months.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I don't want to wait 3 more months.
Right.
Like, I've been waiting since beginning of February. Like, let's get this thing going.
True. All right. Well, let's chime into the next topic here. Who do you think is gonna break out in 2024? You can use a rookie. You can use a veteran. You can use multiple. Who do you think is going to break out this season in the 2024 season for the Arizona Cardinals?
I made a video about this, actually, on the player I think I was going to break out for the Cardinals. I think it's going to be Greg Dortch. I think Greg Dortch is going to be – I'm not going to use a rookie. I think that's kind of just like how are they going to break out on something they haven't even stepped on the field for? So you can't really see like a leap of anything unless you see like a massive college to NFL leap, which doesn't typically happen.
Right.
But I think Greg Dortch, man, like – I believe he like barely totaled 400 yards last season, if that. I don't remember exactly. Let me go ahead and look up his stats real quick. But like Greg Dortch hasn't really had much opportunity. Yeah, he had 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he was kind of teeter-tottering with Rondale Moore. But when he has the ball in his hands, he is a freaking monster. Like when he has the ball, he makes people miss.
Yeah.
Just absolute human joystick. And I think now, because there's no distraction. Like there's no other person. It's not Andy Isabella. There's no Andy Isabella in his way. There's no Rondale Moore in his way, who I was like a little high on, but after week 5 or 6, I was like, okay, there's like a lot of just like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I just look very uncoordinated on the field. And it's just like, you just don't belong. And then Greg Dortch comes in and it's like, okay, there's a play. There's a play. Kyler trusts this guy. Like, why would you get a guy your quarterback trusts on the field? And he's great. Like, he's a little short. He's like 5'8", but like, it doesn't matter. He's a slot receiver. He doesn't need to come make big contested catches. He might come over across the middle here and there, but I don't know. I think Greg Dortch is going to thrive. I think he's going to thrive on a lot of play action boots, a lot of misdirection, just everything. Just get the ball in open space, hit him on like a 5-yard zig, and he's going to turn it to 15. Like, I think Greg Dortch is going to be insane. Or like, okay, cool, we're going to hit a play action stretch. We're going to boot it to the right, and we're going to hit Greg Dortch on a drag. He's going to turn it into 15-20. Like, I think Greg Dortch is going to thrive in this offense. And we kind of saw it towards the back end of the season too.
We did.
So there's no distractions. There's no distractions. Full training camp. Greg Dortch finally has an opportunity. If he can make it shake, great story. Undrafted player to who I think is going to put up like 700 plus yards. I think this is the season. I really do.
I think he's got the tools to do so. You're right. I think he's one of those guys that has definitely been able to have that connection with Kyler very well. And I agree with what you're saying in terms of Rondale. Like, he did look a little lost. He did look a little, I don't know. You can tell when a player is, I don't know how to describe it. I just don't know if the chemistry wasn't fully down. I don't know. Maybe it was just doing the route. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It looked like he was tripping up on himself on the field. Like, you like confuse himself. Like, okay, I want to go this way. Oh, slip. Like, oh, there's a fumble caused by the floor or like the turf. Like, it's not even like anything crazy. It's like, okay, I'm going to make a move. Shifty, got past this guy, and then he's wrapped up by the legs and like dives forward and the ball comes loose. It's like, okay, what is happening? Like, he just, I don't know. I don't want to say it, but he like didn't look like an NFL player in our system. He really didn't.
He did a couple things here and there that I was like, oh, that was really nice. I remember a very like tiptoe catch that he made that was really, really exciting and really, really cool, but it was never consistent. And it's crazy that we're talking about Greg Dortch because Andy Isabella and Rondale Moore should have been what Greg Dortch is. And he's an undrafted guy, right? He's a guy that's been a journeyman. It's been multiple different teams and now finally got an opportunity with the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm so glad that we're finally giving him an opportunity when probably should have gotten earlier. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's a good answer. I'm excited about that. I think Michael Wilson, man, I think Michael Wilson is going to have a very, very good year. Obviously contingent if this man can stay healthy. Yeah.
That's why I didn't say Michael Wilson. That's why I'm kind of pushing Greg Dortch because I believe in his durability more than Michael Wilson. That's fair.
Yeah. I think it contingent of Michael Wilson because even Adam Schefter said, this wide receiving core is shaking out to be pretty good, right? Obviously with Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., we heard Trey McBride have glowing remarks. Greg Dortch is a dog, right? It doesn't matter his size. He's a dog. We got Zay Jones, and then Trey McBride up the middle. We got a lot of weapons for Kyler, and that's not even to mention probably one of the best hard running backs that we've had or in the NFL right now in James Conner. And then we got Trey Benson, which a lot of people are very excited about as well, to potentially back him up. So we got a lot of talent. We really do. We're a team that's really flying under the radar, but like, I'm cool with it. Like, I'm really cool with it. It's really weird that when Cardinals do get a lot of media attention, like, because
I almost don't like it.
Me
like,
too.
I almost don't like
it.
Like, shut your mouths. Like, shut it. Stop talking about us. Like, I'd rather be the underdog in every game. And it's
Me
like,
too.
wow, this team is surprising the world right now. Like, yeah, let's keep that up. Like, stop giving us hype. I don't even want it. Like, I don't want it. You haven't covered us in 4 years. Like, shoo. Be gone. I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear any hype. Like, let us be the underdog that we were set to be. Like, I don't want it to be 6 weeks in and we're 4-2 or something like that. And it's like, oh, the Cardinals, we've always been high in them. Like, shut up. No, you have not.
Exactly.
No.
Shut your mouth.
That part.
Yeah, it's true. No, you're 100% right. I kind of don't want them to talk about it. At one point, I was like, nobody ever talks about us. But like, since I've done like this podcast or since I've done like, content creation, I think I kind of learned to like, not care, not care what anybody has to say, because at the end of the day, it's going to be what this team goes on here. But I'm going to have to use Michael Wilson because I really want him to succeed. Like, he's come into his own. And it's so crazy because like he had that one really good game with, what's his name? Dobbs with the 49ers, got 2 touchdowns, and then he got another touchdown with Kyler. But like, can you agree that we feel like, well, no, I feel like they only just barely got going in the last like game or two. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't even say 2. I would say the last game.
That's fair.
In Seattle is when you got it going. Like, it literally looked like I was preaching on my thing. I was like, there's no connection. Like, this is what's going to happen. There's no connection there. They'll be fine. And I'm like, it sucks if there's nothing there because it literally looks like there's no chemistry, which there wasn't. But as soon as that kind of clicked a little bit in the last game, I'm like, this is just perfect. Like, Greg Dortch looks good. You have Michael Wilson looking good. James Conner looks good. We could have beat Seattle, I think, easily. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to sit here and say it. Like, I think we intentionally lost that game. I'm going to stand on that because what's the point of winning? Go get the 7th, 8th pick? Like, who wants that? Like, you don't think people are aware of this on the sideline? Like, come on. Like, they're definitely aware of it. So, I don't know. Like, the connection was there. You're not wrong. Like, it literally clicked the last week. Crazy. Your mic's on mute.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and that's the thing. You're starting the season with healthy Kyler, and now Michael Wilson coming up here. And here's the thing too. This offseason, I'm not sure if Kyler just, I don't know, leadership off the wazoo. Like, just look at this, man. I've never seen an offseason like this. And I'm not saying man shirtless. I'm saying they are practicing week in and week out. We've heard Michael Wilson come out and say that Kyler Murray and him practice almost every weekend, right? Maybe it doesn't have to be every weekend, but like for the most part, their main priority and their main job this offseason is to try to build the chemistry as much as they possibly can. Like this offseason, I haven't seen an offseason like this. And kudos to Kyler for taking the initiative, right? Kudos to Kyler and the rest of the team that acknowledge that this is a very important step in order for us to be a great team. We could be a good team, but you want to be a great team, this is what you need to do. You need to take the outside steps, outside the OTAs, outside the training camp, outside all this stuff, building a relationship with your teammates and becoming friends, right? Becoming people that you want to play for, becoming people that you want to run through a wall for. This is the difference between 2023 Arizona Cardinals and 2024 Arizona Cardinals is now they're taking the initiative. Now they're taking this big step of we need each other, right? Kyler Murray gets paid handsomely, right? We've got a lot of young, talented out here, but kudos to him for really taking this initiative. And I see some people in the comments here not believing in Kyler. And that's fine, right? That's cool. It is up to Kyler. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, oh, you'll see. Kyler's going to be the one doing it. And I have the faith that he's going to be able to do it as long as he can stay healthy. But here's the thing, man. Do you remember an offseason like this? I don't.
No, I'll touch on it in a second, but I think Kyler has grown for a reason.
Yep.
And I'll touch on that in just a second, but way different. And he looks freaking huge.
He does.
Compared to what he looks like he put on like 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Of muscle. Like he's lean. Like look at Michael Wilson too on the right. Like he's lean.
Yeah.
Like these guys are obviously NFL players, right? They have to be in this shape. But like Kyler looks probably the best he's been. I don't know if that's gonna benefit him at all, but I mean, at his stature at 5'10", I think it's gonna help. Like I don't think it's gonna slow him down. Like Lamar Jackson slimmed off this offseason, and that's kind of where he plays better at. Kyler's always been bigger, if that makes sense. Like he's always been a little built, not like fat, but like he's always been muscular. But right now he's like lean muscular. Like it looks like he took some TRT right now and just like lost all the body fat, put on 10 pounds, and he's just like ready to rock. Like it's crazy. But I think Kyler's leadership, like I think it's kind of hard coming to a team where you're like, okay, you got Larry Fitzgerald on your team in year one, right? You got Larry Fitzgerald. It's hard to out-leader Larry Fitz. It really is. You kind of take a back seat there and you're the quarterback and it's like, I don't know what to really come in here and do. I don't really have connections. I think it took Kyler time to kind of get to that, that's just how people are. Like not everyone's the same, can come in here and be like the vocal leader. I'm like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and I'm going to command this right now and you're going to listen to me. I'm Drew Brees. Like attention. Like not everyone has that gravitational pull to you. Kyler seemed like a quiet, reserved guy for the first couple years. And then he had Cliff Kingsbury who came in here, and I feel like it just didn't help him like express himself as a leader. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I feel like Cliff Kingsbury was a lot big player coach. I feel like we didn't really have a leader besides Buda Baker. Or James Conner. Like, I feel like those are like the two guys, but like outside of that, I don't think we had like a vocal leader. Like I really don't. And now we have Buda on defense still. And I think we have a lot of connections being built. I think Kyler's kind of coming into that, like, okay, you know what? I'm pushing veteran status now. I'm basically a vet. Like, let me go ahead and lock in. He got a new coach, new regime, and it just seemed a lot more professional. I think the professionalism of like, okay, this is what it is. We need this out of you. Like, I don't think they're treating any of these players soft. Like, you got to be here on time. Cliff Kingsbury obviously seemed like a pushover in a way as a head coach. Like, okay, I'm going to show up 10 minutes. Like, it is what it is.
Right.
Like, it just seems like this is a lot like, this is the order. This is what I'm demanding. And if you trust in me, we're going to get the result you want. And I think Kyler Murray grew. We saw it in the post-game press conferences, the pre-game. That was a different Kyler last year. That wasn't the same Kyler talking as the year before, where he was getting into it with his head coach, because his head coach it just seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. So it's great. Like, it's great because I feel like he's taking this step and it's transcending into relationships.
Yeah.
You build relationships, your field your play on the field is going to heavily improve. The power of friendship. Shout out to the New York Knicks, man. I mean, I think the Knicks are going to be good too. That's the thing. Like, if you have connections, I think you're going to be a better team. And it seems like off the field, like they're taking Will Hernandez, like James Conner's going with Kyler everywhere. Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson. It's just like everybody in that picture you showcase, that's the whole offense. Yeah. That's literally the whole offense and their weapons. Kyler's getting timing down. He's getting everything down. I think that is huge and very overlooked.
It's
massive.
No, it is massive. It really is. And I think you're right. When you come into a locker room with a legend like Larry Fitzgerald, right, it's hard to command a locker room when you're coming in here very early 20s and trying to talk to 30-plus-year-olds and say things like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think that when people see, oh, your first overall pick, you should be doing that. You should have a lot of people aren't like that, right? A lot of people aren't like that. And I think that now we're starting to see Kyler Murray truly feel like this is his team, right? This is his team, and starting to see all this young talent come around him and look to him as to, what are we supposed to do, right? What do we do now? And now he's actually taking the lead and saying, let's do this. Let's meet every weekend. Let's work on timing. Let's do this. And you're right. Kyler Murray isn't raw. Kyler Murray's shown by example type of guy. He's always been like that.
Yep.
And it's now we're starting to see, if Kyler can stay healthy, I think we're going to start seeing a offense like we should have seen from the jump. But we got to go through those bumps and bruises to kind of come out through the end. So I'm excited about it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited about it. When we talked about breakout players, we gave a lot of love to the offense. Let's go one player on the defensive side of the ball that you feel like is going to break out. Let me give some love here to my guy, Illa Dre. He says Garrett Williams is going to ball out this year. Love it. But who do you think is going to break out on the defensive side of the ball?
BJ Ojolari.
Ooh.
Easily.
Yeah.
we're talking breakout.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of established guys on this defense, like Budda Baker, Jalen Thompson. Nobody that's like really going to break out. I don't think anyone on our defensive line is going to necessarily break out and be like, okay, he just had a way better season. I think Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones. I feel like they're going to be solid, and they're just going to be very solid at what they do. But I think BJ Ojulari is going to come in here. I don't know what he had, maybe 4 sacks last year, 4.5 sacks, 3.5 sacks, something. But he was hurt. He was lingering with a hamstring injury like all season. He wasn't really fully healthy. I think when he's fully healthy with the training camp and he can kind of come into his own, you come in with a lot more knowledge. I think he has the talent. I think he's going to put it together. You know, you don't have to deal with an injury. I think BJ Ojulari is going to push 8.5, 9 sacks this season and finally establish, like, hey, you know, we got this guy now. Maybe it's more than that. Like, it genuinely could be. I just think 8.5 is kind of like I'm messing with the 7.5 to 8.5 line, somewhere between there. That's where I'm really liking it. I think we're going to finally have an outside linebacker presence. I think he's going to really explode. Him and Greg Dortch are mine too. I don't know who you're feeling, but Garrett Williams also
he's also out there
as another guy.
Yeah.
Garrett Williams, I've always been high on as soon as we drafted him. That's like one of the guys I've been really anticipating to break out, and it's going to take time because he was missing half the season. Or a little more than half the season. I think he came back like week 11. So, yeah, again, with the full training camp, I think he could be solid too. But BJ Ojulari is my number one.
Yeah, that's my number one too. I'm not gonna lie to you. But for the sake of being different, I'm gonna go Kazir White. I want to go Kazir White. If he could stay healthy, I feel like he's going to this middle linebackers that we got right now are so intriguing. And I think we've all flirted around the idea of like, oh, the next best linebackers, right? And I remember when we drafted Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons, there were so many tweets or so many posts about the next best linebacker duo coming up. But I feel like underratedly, it's Kazir White and Mac Wilson Sr., because he did add the weight to his body. I feel like this is going to be a really, really good middle linebacking core. I'm not gonna sit here and say top 5. I'm not gonna go crazy, but I do feel like they're gonna command this defense.
Top 12.
Definitely. I think because they're gonna be able to command this defense, and because Kazir White knows Jonathan Gannon for a long time, as long as he can stay healthy, I think he's going to have a very, very good season. It might not be one of those that reflect on the stats. And like, I'm not going to come out here and say he's going to be blitzing a lot of times and get like 6-7 sacks. It might not be like that, but it might be one of those situations that he gets 2 or 3 sacks under his belt. He might get 2 or 3 interceptions under his belt. I feel like that can be very doable for Kazir White. So I'm going to go Kazir White just to be different, but my number one is BJ Ojulari though.
I think it's just easy. I think that's like the easy answer because I think he's a star in the making. Like, I really do. It takes outside linebackers a couple seasons sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think year 2 is going to be great, and year 3 is where he's going to kind of really get into it. And then by year 4, I think BJ Ojulari is going to be ridiculous.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's stay with the outside linebackers. Zaven Collins. Very intriguing. I know.
So weird.
Very weird. He's the opposite side, or at least that's what we're told by Nick Rallis and JG, right? It seems like they're going to give him a lot of opportunity to kind of come into his own and staying in that outside linebacking spot. What do you think is going to happen with Zaven? If you're going to put a way too early prediction out there for Zaven, you think he's going to shake out, or do you think he's going to not be a member of the Cardinals in a year or two?
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't hate Zaven Collins.
Yeah.
Like, I hated the pick and where we took him at the time.
Yeah.
I'm kind of growing to kind of like Zaven Collins a little bit, but it's like there's no position on the field where I'm like, okay, he's elite. But then you look at him on the field and like he makes good plays. It might not be the immediate play, but he's good at forcing things inside. And he's great at run defense. That's kind of what Zaven's saying is he's not a pass rusher. Like, I feel like he's very untapped as a pass rusher, which is weird because right now we don't really have anybody established. Like, BJ Ojulari's not established. Like, it sounds nice on paper to come out and say he's going to break out, but we don't know. Like, we don't know. He could stink it up this season. Like, that is a possibility as well. I think he's not taking that route at all. I think he's going to be fantastic, but you never know. So it's like you got Zaven Collins on the outside who's not really a developed pass rusher, and it's like, okay, what are we really getting here? I don't know. I think Zaven Collins is a really smart football player. I think he has a high IQ, which is why he was able to be a middle linebacker in the first place. I don't know. I think we're going to see a very solid run defending season from Zaven. at the minimum. Very, very good run defense from
Run
Zayvon
defense.
Collins this season. I think he's very smart, very high IQ football player. So if he can put on some pass rushing moves and develop that, which is a tough task to ask,
Right.
like especially if that's not what you're used to doing at all, you're gonna have to develop it at some point if you're gonna be a legit edge. I could see Zayvon Collins coming back, just not on a franchise tag or anything of that stature, because they said they would love to have him back, but it doesn't make sense. Because why would you pick up that option when it's way more than what you want to pay him and you don't even know what you have? So I'm comfortable bringing him back. I genuinely am. I've kind of grown to the idea, but for whatever it's worth, the franchise tag or the 5th-year option, no.
Yeah, well, the 5th-year option was declined already, so it just seemed like it's just really weird because we got him in 2021, right? So 2021,
21 and 22, he was playing middle linebacker.
Yep, 2, 3, 4. So 24. So his 5th year is going to be next year. So if we decline that, and if we do bring him back, they would have to. Oh, they already declined it, so they would have to bring him back on a certain deal. And I agree with you. It's not one of those things where I'm like, I hate the guy. I think he's actually a really good person. I think he's a fantastic human being, and it's hard to find a position for him. And I want him to flourish. I want him to do good. It's just like outside of Zayvon Collins, like if you look at our depth chart, like there's not really much people out there, man. Like we got Xavier Thomas, I think he was a rookie. Dante Stills also kind of plays on the outside as well. LJ Collier, which is a guy that probably won't do. He did decent. I'm not gonna say he was bad with us, but like there's guys like Majay is no longer with us. Cameron Thomas was just also drafted with Majay. He's kind of not finding his way around. I hope D Rob is gonna be on the inside, but maybe he'll find himself on the outside because he can play both. But like we kind of need Zayvon Collins to do good. We need him to do well because outside of him, there's just a lot of unknowns, right? Yeah, a lot of question marks. So I want him to succeed. It's just, I mean, they declined a 5th-year option for a reason. But you're right. It is a lot more expensive if they were to pick that up as opposed to just bringing him back for whatever deal they decide to bring him back on. So I think they like him as a person. They're just trying to find a spot for him.
I think that's what it is. It's like I'm not fully confident in paying you right now, which honestly, sitting at the position, if you're like actually talent evaluating right now and you're watching Zayvon Collins play, you're seeing how he's fitting your system. You're seeing what he's doing in film. Like obviously they have been a lot more locked in than we have, but from what I'm seeing, it's like, Zayvon Collins, very smart football player, but it's like, I don't really know. Like there's not like an established position for you. Like I'd love to have you be an outside linebacker for us, but like, who knows? Like next year, we're going to have like $100 million to spend. Like maybe there's some guy we can go out there and get that's going to be better and help elevate this team. Or it's like, hey, you know what? We'll probably get you for less than that 5th-year option anyways. So like, if you do perform really well, it might hurt the pockets a little bit. And it's like, okay, you got your whatever, you proved yourself. We'll pay you. You got 7 sacks, great in run defense. We'll pay you easily.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's an interesting storyline to figure out what's going to be happening with Zayvon Collins. But let's move on over to the last topic. Last topic I want to dive into is going to be playoffs or bust. Do you think that is the motto that you feel like is going to happen for the 2024, Cardinals? Like you're also on social media, right? You see a lot of what Cardinal fans are saying, right? You have your own YouTube channel, right? You got your own fan base. You got your own subscribers that you kind of see in the comments. What do you hear in terms of what the fans are saying out there? Do you feel like it's playoff or bust?
I don't think so. I'm not really expecting to make the playoffs either. Like, I'm really not. Like, I'm not coming in here with the expectation we're going to win 10-plus games. So that's what it's probably going to take is 10-plus games. Maybe 9, which is possible. But I'm not sitting here like, hey, if we finish with 7, 8 wins this season, it's a bad season. Obviously, I'd love to win more, but that schedule's tough. Our schedule is really tough for the first, 8 weeks. So I'm not sitting here, we have to make the playoffs or it's going to be a bad season. Like, I just can't be a fan. I get Kyler out of here. Like, that's just not my mentality. I'm sitting here, I want to see steps. I want to see us actually progress. And if we can do that, I'm not going to be mad. There's things I need to see better. And obviously the coaching staff is sitting here doing the same thing. I want to see Kyler stay healthy. That's kind of the biggest knock in his career. I don't know. It's tough. I think if we don't get 7 to 8 wins, though, there's going to be question marks. If we finish at 6,
that's bad.
I'm gonna have a little cause for concern, or anything under 6. If we get anything under 6, then I'm gonna be freaking out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I might snap halfway through the season. start raging a little. But
Flipping tables.
yeah, I might. I really might, but I might jump through a table. I don't know.
So it's not so much
Mafia.
right. It's not so much playoff or bust for you, but
No.
you do have a
Level of success I'm expecting from this team.
So anything under 6 or 7.
Anything under 7 is kind of disappointing.
Okay.
Because the line is 6.5 right now. And like every projection is 6.5. So I think 7 is like, I think we're gonna go over, but I can see 7 wins this season. So if we can get 7, I'm not mad. 6, I'll be like, just depending who we lose to. But if we finish with like 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1, I'm gonna flip my SHIT.
That better not happen. I'm telling you, that better not happen.
I'll flip.
Yeah, there would be a lot of concerns for sure. The schedule is tough though. I mean, we've mentioned this before. Like even the start of the season is a tough gauntlet to get through. The Bills. I forgot what week 2 was, but
number 3, it's like Rams something. We got like Miami. Our schedule is freaking rough. I know we touched on it. Those first 8 weeks are hell because it's like I think it goes Buffalo, Rams, Detroit.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right.
Washington.
Yep.
Is it San Fran, Green Bay, Chargers, Dolphins? I did thumbnails already. I had my thumbnails in advance.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. But the first 8 weeks suck. Like if we can win 3 games out of those 8, like 3 and 5, I think that's fine. Because that's a tough stretch. I really think Buffalo though. So maybe 4 and 6 for the first 10 would be acceptable on my end.
Really? Wow. I don't know. I have a little bit more expectations, to be honest with you. I agree with you too. Like it doesn't have to be playoffs. But to me, and it's literally a game or 2 difference from what you're saying. I want to at least sniff it. I want to get into week 15 and at least have an option to potentially be there. If week 16, week 17 rolls around, being like, oh, no, it ain't going to happen. Oh, damn. But we made strides, right? We made strides. This offense looks better. This defense looks better. I think I would be good. Obviously, playoffs would be amazing. That would be the cherry on top of the ice cream. And I think then we'll be talking a lot more hyped about this organization. But, like, to me, I feel like the floor to me, especially if we have our franchise quarterback from the start, and contingent if he can stay healthy, of course, I want to see 8 wins. I want to see 7 to 8 to heck even 9 wins to potentially for this team, because we do got a tough stretch. We do, but like I think our team is actually pretty good. I'm not saying a Super Bowl. I'm not gonna be crazy and say Super Bowl. I don't think we're there, but I do think that I hope we can at least sniff the playoffs and be at least in talks of it. I think 8 should be where I'm at.
Are there any teams that you kind of have as locks to make the playoffs in the NFC? Like, are there any teams that you're just like, okay, these are like teams that are like locked to make the playoffs? Like I can pull up logos right now for you if you want to just look at it, because I know we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, do so.
But is there any team that you're just like, I think I have 3 total.
Only team
I have 3.
It's copy and paste for me. 49ers. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so 49ers. Just because of who they are. Now they lose Brandon Aiyuk, obviously different story, but I still do think they got a really good team. I think the 49ers, we're saying playoffs, right?
Playoffs. Yeah, just baseline playoff teams. Like,
okay, 49ers, I think the Lions are going to be very, very good. And I think I want to throw the Packers in there, but I don't know if like
I can't lock them.
Yeah, I can't lock them either.
I can lock Philly. Those are the 3. Yeah, I agree with you on 2, and I'll throw Philly in there. Those are the 3 that I'm locking.
I'm going to switch my Philly to Dallas.
That's fair.
Yeah, but that's just because I want to be different from you.
Yeah, like I just think those are the 3 locks. I think Dallas is going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be as good. Their run game is very interesting. They have Ezekiel Elliott right now as their starting running back. Michael Gallup's gone. Like the team is very interesting. I can't even say the Rams are a lock.
Yeah,
I can't say the Seahawks are a lock. I can't say Chicago's a lock. I like Chicago. I really do like Chicago and their defense. I think they leveled up everything. I think the NFC North is very interesting. I'm not a Minnesota believer. Tampa Bay, I think, is going to do progressively worse. I think New Orleans might win the division this year. I think people are shifting to Atlanta, but I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that because they did get a new quarterback, but that might be an 8-win team right there at the max. The Packers, I'm not fully sold on, but like I could understand if they win 11 games. Like,
Yeah.
like if they win 11 games, I'm not going to be like, wow, that
Yeah.
surprised me. But like, it's not like a team I'm like willingly, like I would throw $100 on today. They are making the playoffs. Like if I had to throw, if I had $300 right now and they're like, pick 3 teams to put $100 on right now, I'm picking San Fran, Philly, and Detroit. And I'm not looking back. Those are the 3. Those are the 3. But outside of that, it's open.
No,
There's obviously got to be a divisional winner from the South, which doesn't really matter who that is. I think that division is kind of sorry right now as it stands. Like Carolina's not great. Tampa Bay, I think, is going to take like a hit. I think Atlanta could be decent, but that's like an 8-win, 9-win team at the peak. And then New Orleans, I think, wins it. But like, I think it's going to be Detroit, Green Bay, like Philly, Dallas, San Fran, and 2 more, right? There's 7 teams that make the playoffs now.
7, yeah.
So whoever else you're feeling, maybe Chicago and I don't know. Then you were looking at like Tampa, Atlanta, Arizona, Washington. Like those are the other teams that I'm like, okay, they got a chance. I don't know. I think we have a chance.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. And that's why like the whole playoff or bust, topic that, we're kind of describing today, I think we're kind of talking a little nonchalantly, but if you look at the NFC, like look at the quarterbacks, right? Look at the quarterback play and what's going on. I think I can easily put Kyler Murray if he can stay healthy and if we can see the Kyler Murray that we've
top
seen
3.
Before. Yeah.
Do you think, I think we can agree Caleb Williams, not better, or he's better than Caleb Williams. Yeah. Kirk Cousins, I don't know. Kirk Cousins could be better than Kyler.
He's established more, so
it depends how he comes off on the Achilles.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, I have Kyler over Dak Prescott. A lot of people aren't going to agree with that necessarily, but that's where I'm feeling as a quarterback. Jared Goff, based on last season, if he's able to do that, Jared Goff is better.
He's good, yeah.
Carolina, I think he's better than Bryce Young. I think he's better than Daniel Jones. Matthew Stafford, I think, is better. Jordan Love, not sure, but right now I'm going to say Kyler's better. New Orleans, Derek Carr, I think Kyler's better. Jalen Hurts, I think Kyler's better. Brock Purdy, you can throw that one in the air. It really depends. But whatever way you go, I wouldn't be mad based on what's happened recently. Brock Purdy's better.
Yeah.
And then the bottom 4, Kyler's better than all of them. So Kyler's at minimum a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. A top 5 quarterback in the NFC.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Or top 6 if you want to throw Jordan Love in there and want to say he's better.
That's fair.
It teeter-totters.
And that's
I think top 6.
There's a lot of people out there that are putting predictions out that are having like the Chicago Bears like at 7, 8, 9, 10 wins, which is crazy to me because they got a rookie quarterback. And I get that team is really good. I get the defense is good. I get they got weapons too, but so do the Cardinals. I feel like Kyler's obviously established a lot more in the NFL than Caleb Williams has, but like I
do agree, but I kind of believe in Chicago. I'm not going to lie to you. That defense.
You believe in them? Their defense is good. Yeah.
Their defense is. As soon as they got Montez Sweat, that defense turned into top 3. Top 3 defense. So I believe in their defense.
Do you think the Chicago Bears are going to finish better than the Cardinals?
That's what I'm saying. They might. I think they're going to be in that like
the defense
with that defense is scary. If Caleb Williams comes into his own and is able to get the ball to the weapons, because they got Swift, Keenan Allen, Roman Dunes, they added to that team. Yeah. And they don't have Justin Fields, which I think is a blessing. I think it is a blessing for them. I don't believe in Justin Fields at all. Like him as a person off the field, I think he's a good guy. It's just sometimes he's just not it. He really isn't like that guy. I don't believe in him. I think Pittsburgh is going to find that out too. Just not a believer. I'm really not. I'm just, I don't know why. And I think they've leveled up in Caleb Williams. I think it's going to take him a little bit to kind of come into his own because it's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises. But I think Chicago's underdog. I think they're kind of like where Arizona is, but Arizona's kind of like the Bears' defense is up here and their offense is like right here, middle of the pack. Their defense elite, offense middle pack. The Cardinals are neck and neck. You know what I mean? The offense might teeter-totter, the defense might teeter-totter a little bit.
Yeah.
There's not a group on this team where I'm this is better than the other. I'm not saying the offense is better than defense is better than the offense. I think they're both able to be better than the other on any given week.
I mean, as long as they can complement each other, that's all we're looking for some wins. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. The defense has to complement the offense. If your offense is slacking, your defense has to step up. We did that last year with Josh Dobbs at quarterback. Now we got Kyler. We got firepower now. You know what I mean? Drives are going to extend. You don't have to be on the field as much. I think Kyler's going to take a lot of pressure off the defense, and it's not going to be like, hey, there's another 3 and out, punt the ball back. You're on the field for 45 minutes, and we're on the field for 15. I think it's going to be like, okay, we're on the field for 36. You need to be on the field for – or 34. You need to be on the field for 26. Like, that's all you got to do. We just need you to stop them a couple times, hold them to under 17 to 20.
I think this team can do it, man. For my own ego, I feel like we better finish before or better than the Bears. That's just for my own ego-ness. But I get that there is going to be a level of we need to take steps, but I feel like this team could be better because you shining the NFC teams in there. You're right. There's not very many locks. There's 3. We differ from one just because I want to be different from you. You have Philly. I got Cowboys. But I mean that's kind of where it is there. So we'll see. We'll see exactly what happens here. All right, ladies, and we're going to be closing up shop. As always, I appreciate everybody for joining in the chat. We got training camp coming up here very, very soon. If you guys haven't already subscribed to Mythic AZ, do so. He's on the road to 6K. Go and search it up here on the YouTube search. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.